Hello students, today I will discuss with the last part of your last chapter of class 6 geography, that is the case studies, lumberjacks of Canada and the life in the Amazon basin. So the remaining part I have already completed through the video. Today we will start with the Amazon basin, that how have geographical factors influenced the life of the people of the Amazon basin. So in the when I have discussed with you the lumberjacks of Canada, there also one part was there, that how the geographical factors have influenced the life of the people. So in this also we will discuss about that how the geographical factors have influenced the life of the Amazon basin. Now, geographical factor plays a very important role in the life of the people. Its dress, its food habit, the type of crops grown. So it is quite natural that geographical factors plays a very important role in the life of the people. Say for example, the people living in the southern part of India, where it is not so cold, because the southern part of India is close to the equator. So there is more warm or hot. So the people prefer to use white colored clothes. Now people living in the northern part of India, in the Jammu Kashmir and in the northern part, during winter there is chilly cold. But that amount of cold you will not find if you go to the coastal region. So there are certain geographical factors. So depending upon the climate, the food habit, the types of crop grown, everything varies. Now today we will not discuss with any other region, rather it's a very interesting region of the world, that is the Amazon. Geographical factors have influenced the life of the people living in the Amazon basin in many ways, just like they have affected the life of the lumberjacks of Canada. So I have already discussed. Now, first is the nature of settlement. What is settlement? Where people live together is known as a settlement. The hot, wet equatorial climate. Why it is known as hot, wet equatorial climate? Because places close to the equator are known as the equatorial climate. And in the equatorial climate, it is warm throughout the year. As it remains warm throughout the year, right from the morning, the temperature is high. And by afternoon, the clouds starts forming. By evening, there is rainfall. Because of the two things, excessive rainfall and the bright sunshine, it leads to the luxuriant growth of the trees. That is why it is known as the hot, wet climate. The Amazon basin and the impenetrable nature of the rainforest. Impenetrable means it is very deep, dark and dense and dark. So it is impenetrable means where one cannot enter. That is known as impenetrable. Hence, this region is traditionally peopled by small group of hunter-gatherers. So as this place is not a very nice place to live, so here the settlement is very less. Only a small group of people live here who set up temporary shelters. Now inside, permanent settlements cannot be made, so temporary shelters in suitable sites. When they exhaust the resources of their patch of forest, they abandon their shelter and move on. It is to some extent like the slash and burn agriculture. But here they do not produce. What they do, suppose they settle in a place. When they exhaust the resources, that is the patch of the forest, then they abandon that place as shelter and move to another region. Agriculture, the infertile nature of the soil forces traditional farmers to practice slash and burn. So this region is not very fertile, so there is no other option but to carry on the slash and burn agriculture. They grow crops like tapioca, maize, cocoa, coffee and yam, which are suited to the local climatic, physiographic and soil condition. So as you know that in all type of soil, all type of crops cannot be grown. And as because the soil here is not so fertile, so here only the traditional or the primitive practice of slash and burn is continued. They grow crops like tapioca, maize, cocoa, coffee and yam, and these are the crops which are suitable to this climate and to the soil. For example, is endemic to this region, cocoa. Cocoa is very much famous or popular in this region and thrives on high humidity and rainfall. So all of you know what is humidity. Humidity means the presence of water molecules in the air is known as humidity. And when the humidity will be high, the amount of rainfall will be high, because humidity will take place when the temperature will be high. When temperature is high, the amount of water vapor that increases in the air is more, and when the water vapor, too much water vapor forms a cloud. When it cannot hold itself, it becomes heavy, then it starts falling in the form of rain. So agriculture is another factor. So infertile nature of the soil, and so there is no other option but to practice the slash and burn agriculture, and they grow this type of crops which are suitable to the climatic, physiographic and the soil condition of the Amazon basin. Next, another very very important point is proximity to a major river. Proximity means nearness. Proximity means nearness to the major river. The life of the people revolves around the Amazon. You know, dear students, that the most famous civilizations of the world have all taken place along the rivers. You must have heard about the Indus Valley civilization, which took place around the river Indus. The Mesopotamian civilization, which took place around the rivers of Tigris and Euphrates. The Egyptian civilization took place along the bank of the river Nile, and the Chinese civilization took place along the rivers Yangtze Kiang and Huanghe. So river plays a very important role, and the life surrounds around the Amazon, because water is a very essential thing which requires in all the human activities. The life of the people revolves around the Amazon river. Fishing is an important activity. So whenever a river is there, obviously fishing will be a very important activity. The river also serves as the main means of transport in some parts of the forest. So within the forest, the river goes through the forest, both sides the forest is there, and the river helps in moving from one place to another. Next is physical isolation. So physically the people living here is totally isolated from the modern world. Isolated from the outside world, the modern world, they are totally isolated. The indigenous people have learned to survive on their own. They have learned the survival skill, how to survive in the forest. Their needs are simple and usually met from locally available resources. So the people living in the forest, their demands, their needs are also very limited, and whatever are their demands or the needs, they get it fulfilled inside the forest only. But there has been a drastic change. What we have seen earlier, or what was the condition of the Amazon, but today it has changed to a great extent. In 1972, the construction of the Trans-Amazon Highway. Trans-Amazon means it covers the Amazon region. It goes through the highway. Opened the previously inaccessible rainforest. Inaccessible means places where one cannot go. But because of the opening of the transport system, highway, now people can go to places even where previously it was not possible to go. Though it brought some modern conveniences to the indigenous people of the rainforest, but because of the opening of this highway, some advantages are there, some disadvantages are there. Advantages that some modern methods, some your modern amenities has reached here, but it created many other problems over the time. What are the problems? The new settlers indulged in widespread felling of the trees. So those who have, the new settlers, those who have come to settle here, so first and foremost they started felling of the trees, destroying the forest. Then, and for lumbering land and other purpose. The indigenous people suffered greatly as they were exposed to new diseases brought by the outsiders. So this is a very serious problem. that the people, indigenous people living there, they were confined within their own community. So when the people from outside they have come, they have brought along with them lot of diseases, different types of diseases which has been contaminated, which has been contacted with the indigenous people. But today many indigenous people live in protected area in order to preserve their tradition. So seeing all this problem, they have gone into a isolated life. They are following isolated, confined themselves, because they have understood that if they go on mixing with other people, then lot of diseases will be, they will suffer, and by that they will die, and the entire community will get extinct. So many other practice a lifestyle that is a mix of modern, and some of them are there who mixed a lifestyle of modern as well as of the indigenous. So dear students, with this we have come to the end of this chapter, and I hope that by now I have already sent you question answers. Even if some are left, that I will provide you. So till then, all of you take care, stay safe, stay healthy, wish you Merry Christmas, hope we will see again on the 2 days of the Christmas holidays, when I will have my class. On that day we will once again meet. Till then, goodbye.